Hold up for a second. Did you know that there was a football team in Washington? Because they're trying as hard as possible to let you know. About a year and a half ago, the team previously known as the Redskins removed their name. This was probably expected to happen at some point. The name had been under scrutiny for a long time. And even in 2012, Obama spoke out against it
about
as the sitting
changing
president. However, in 2013, Trump did tweet in support of the name Redskins, so I don't understand how it still was under any hot water. You really think a Trump tweet would, close up the controversy, bring people together like they always do, but turns out it wasn't the case this time. Nevertheless, this is a W move, because cold take, the name was kind of racist if you don't know. Whether this was simply a PR stunt or a greater realization that maybe the nation shouldn't sponsor a team demeaning Native Americans, although that does feel a little more on brand for them, change was sprung. In its place was put the temporary moniker Washington Football Team, which is accurate. There is a football team in Washington. It's just sometimes really hard to tell. But I'm here with great news. After the 18-month wait, the rebrand is here. The team announced on February 2nd a new team name, new team logo, and new team jerseys will be unveiled for the entire world to see. Executives claim that they ran through over 40,000 fan-submitted ideas, although I kind of doubt that, because once you get to know Washington a little bit, you realize that fans, the stadium, even the sports team aren't really on the top of their agenda, just making money. That's about it. But just because they're so kind and gracious, they did drop a teaser list of 8 names for us to guess what their future one will be. Of course, you got the Hogs, which is the nickname they've had since the 80s. Apparently, it generated around their dominant offensive line, which in a lot of ways is, I guess, kind of like a pig.
It's time to start the Kevin Talk Sports Show. We're gonna talk sports now.
Hello. Welcome back to the Kevin Talk Sports Show with me, your host, Kevin Dickelson. Today, I am honored to talk to one of the best receivers in the whole league, Dusty the Brick Dickenshaw. Dusty, that was a great game out there today.
Oh yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Just trying to go out there and do my best to catch some balls,
So how does it feel to be a little piggy boy?
Did you misspeak? Did you say little piggy boy?
Well, the whole thing, Washington, the Hogs. So you're basically just a little piggy boy.
Well, just because I play on the Hogs, it doesn't make me a pig, like Baker Mayfield plays for the Browns and he's hella white.
So what do you think about your team's recent signing of little brother George? Are you sure he's not a little piggy boy?
Well, I do think George is going to be a real asset to our team. For a 3-year-old, he really can throw the pigskin.
So you're saying that you are a little piggy boy?
I put in a lot of work, I play hard. I don't really think I'm like a pig at all, man. I'm kind of super gremlin, Super gremlin. Super gremlin, ladies and gentlemen.
I think you're more like a little bad piggy. Yeah, that's you. You're a bad piggy.
Hey, Commissioner, can you suspend me? Yeah, I'll take steroids, I'll do whatever. I just don't want to deal with any of this anymore.
After 18 months of hard work, I hope you could come up with something better than a swine. What they should not do is the Washington Defender. This name sounds like it was made by a toddler, who in fairness could probably run their team better. But I don't exactly think the Defenders has the right ring to it. Maybe the Offenders is a little more on brand for Washington. But we can't overlook the fact that the Washington football team is still on the list. 18 months in, and there's a possibility they have done absolutely nothing. They announced this whole rebrand to do nothing. They have a pinned tweet of this hype video on Twitter to do absolutely nothing. It's actually a great metaphor. There's no better way to say that nothing's changing in Washington by actually just nothing changing in Washington. Because why else would they be doing this? If you announce a team rebrand, the public's going to assume that you're not going to stay the same or go backwards. Like, they didn't put the Washington Redskins on the list as well, although that would be hilarious. We're not going to assume that your team is staying the same. The only thing I can think is that maybe they're going to lean even harder into the Washington football team idea. On the front of the jerseys, they're going to take cutouts of the NFL rulebook, and on the back, they're going to put directions to Washington, D.C., just to prove that they are a team that knows how to play football, that does play in Washington. But to some extent, I commend the Washington football team. Cardinals don't live in Arizona, and there's absolutely zero jazz in Utah, but there is football in Washington. Although again, sometimes it is hard to tell. Regardless, Washington might have a new team name on February 2nd. I guess we'll just have to tune in to see how unoriginal or unique they might get. Thanks for watching.